for Senator Barrientos, it's sometimes better to meet with a staff person because you'll get more time, you'll get to explain what you're talking about to someone who definitely has the ear of the legislator, and you will leave with that individual the materials and the message which will be conveyed. So I hope you get to meet with legislators, but if you don't, do your job. Make sure that that office, the office of that legislator, knows your message and knows that you're not going away and we're not going away. So again, thank you very, very much.
Hi, y'all. My name's Delma, and I'm a student leader at Texas State University with our Planned Parenthood group there. And I'm so glad to see so many people and so many young people out here today standing up for Planned Parenthood and reproductive rights. This is your capital, and your presence here means so much because you're able to give voice to many people who do not have the privilege to be here today. As Texans, we're proud of many things, but our healthcare situation, not so much. Texas has one of the highest uninsured rates in the nation, and Latinas in our state are most likely to die from cervical cancer than any other group in the nation. Cervical cancer is one of the most preventable cancers if detected early on. Many women who are insured are already benefiting from preventative health screenings that can detect these issues early on with no copay, thanks to the Affordable Care Act. And thankfully for me, Planned Parenthood was there to help me with the open enrollment to finally be insured after 4 years and start benefiting from that. But for the thousands of women in the state who are still uninsured, providers like Planned Parenthood who participate in the state's cancer screening program are a lifeline. Of the women it served, 57% of them were Latinas, making it a crucial program in communities of color. But a few politicians want to chip away access by targeting Planned Parenthood in their proposed budget. Cutting access to life-saving programs for vulnerable populations is not a Texas value. This is not a Democrat issue or a Republican issue. It's about Texas having equitable access to life-saving health services. I know that it is possible for this legislature to come together and stand up for what is right. Just a couple days ago, Republican Sarah Davis, yes, a Republican, from Houston, vocalized her opposition for the proposed budget structure that would prevent providers like Planned Parenthood from participating in the program. She said, if we don't have the provider network, women cannot be served and they will die. They will die. That is the harsh reality when some politicians care more about their conservative report card than the well-being of thousands of Texans. Latinas in Texas deserve state leaders who are not going to play politics at the expense of their health and their lives. Jeopardizing access to health care in communities of color has real consequences now and in the long run. I hope that you will continue to speak up and let our elected officials know that we will keep advocating time and time again until all women have equitable access to a full range of reproductive health care, including safe abortion care.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Aubrey, and I've traveled here from Lubbock today because I want my voice to be heard. I'm a college student at Texas Tech University, and my health care is very important to me. I need to stay healthy so I can go to school, begin my career, and plan for my future. When I started looking for a health center that provides family planning and preventative care to low-income or uninsured women, I was shocked to find that there were only 2 clinics in the area. There used to be more, but after the Texas legislature slashed family planning funds in 2011, many providers in my region weren't able to stay open. I was able to schedule an appointment with one, but the doctor would not prescribe me birth control until I went through a series of tests. I might not have been able to afford these tests if I didn't have insurance. The doctor also asked me why I was in such a hurry to become sexually active. This was like a punch in the stomach, y'all. Here I am trying to do the right thing by protecting myself and my future, and I'm being judged by a doctor that I'm supposed to trust. I think about the thousands of other women like me who are trying to take charge of their lives by protecting their health and their future, and being hit with roadblock after roadblock. And it's just unacceptable. Yes. Woo! Yes. I'm here today because this is now my fight. It's my responsibility to stand up and make sure politicians know that access to health care, like birth control, should not depend on your zip code. It's time for my generation to look around and say, enough is enough. Texas women deserve health care without political interference. And that's why I'm here, to stand up with all of you women and support Texas, we just need basic health care access. That's all we're asking for. I want to thank all of you for your support and your support for Planned Parenthood.
Well, good afternoon. My name is Chris Turner. I'm a state representative from Grand Prairie and Arlington. And I am proud to stand with Planned Parenthood today and every day. And I just want to thank all of you so much for taking time to come to your capital today and tell the story of Planned Parenthood and the vital, life-saving services that Planned Parenthood provides all over our state. Because as we've just heard from the previous 2 speakers, who are very courageous to share their stories, and let's give them a hand again. They were outstanding. Access to basic health care, including contraception, should not be dependent upon your income, your zip code, your race, or anything else. Access to care should be a basic right that all Texans are guaranteed. And those in this building who would try to take away those rights are not representing Texas values, as the previous speaker said. They're representing a narrow partisan agenda that we need to say no to. And you all being here and sharing your stories and their stories and stories of the people who can't be with us here on this lawn today are so important. We have to put a human face on what's going on in this state, and that's how we're going to change hearts and minds. In the meantime, those of us who stand with you are going to keep standing with you, and we're going to keep fighting until we win. Thank you all very much.
From Houston, Texas. It's so wonderful to see so many familiar faces, great friends. Peter Durkin, I saw you a second ago. Wonderful to see. There you are. This guy, man, I mean, he was my training wheels, and look what he did. I mean, I tell you what. I really want to thank you all so much for coming back and continuing to stand with Texas women. For women's health allies in the Texas legislature, fighting to ensure that the millions of women in our state can access the medical services they need, as you know, is a grueling uphill battle. We are constantly having to swim upstream, and doing so can be extremely discouraging. But when my colleagues and I can see that you're here, I tell you, it just gives us the jet fuel that we need to keep on fighting. So thank you so very much. We know our efforts are not in vain. You inspire us, you really do. All of your contacts really do. And I think back to the summer of 2013 and the thousands of you that drove from all over the state in the middle of the summer, in the middle of the week, in the middle of the night, and made it on a 2-day notice. I want to thank you for coming and for sharing your such deep and personal stories and making that trek and knowing how important this is. And I think about how you all filled the Capitol to capacity. I've not been able to find anyone who can tell me when in this state's history the doors had to be closed because we had exceeded the occupancy limit. Can you imagine that? You all did that. I've never seen it done before. But you showed up, and you showed up because it's about women's health care. And I think too about how your presence here on that special night literally caused the citizens filibuster to allow Wendy Davis to finish her words. And I want you to know that my colleagues and I heard your message then, and we hear it today. Keep going, keep working, keep fighting, because you know that Texas women and the men that are strong enough to love them will not stop. We will not stop standing. We will not stop fighting. And it's so amazing that you continue to show up. You continue to come. You continue to call. You continue to make contacts. And you continue to be dedicated to preserving and expanding women's rights in their health care. This is not merely, as you know, this is not merely a moment. All these moments that in 2013 and today, this is all part of a movement, and you know that. You know that this is a movement that continues to have to be regenerated. I know a lot of women have been here for decades, and I thank you so much for doing it, and I thank you so much for continuing and for training the next generation. And I'm training the next generation. Thank you for the training, by the way. And unfortunately, we'll continue to fight, but the energy that you bring to this cause continues to bring momentum and continues to propel this movement forward. People all around the state believe that women should have access to quality health care. Texans know, as was mentioned before, that your health care shouldn't depend upon your zip code, how much money you make, what's your level of education, or how closely you're following what's going on in the legislature. Only sick people do that, like us, right? But most people don't, and it shouldn't rely on that. And I cannot believe that we are still having to fight this fight in the year 2015, sorry, a little time travel there. But we do it, and we will continue to do it, and as long as it's necessary, and I'm afraid that it's always going to be necessary. The worst thing, though, as bad as things might seem sometimes, the worst thing, it could be worse. We could become silent. And if that happened, then everything's gone. But no, we are vigilant. We are ever vigilant. We are ever prepared. And we're not going to go anywhere. And my other colleagues on the other side of this issue are going to have to know that. And I'm so pleased and I'm so proud of Representative Sarah Davis for speaking out, for having the courage to do so. She represents the Texas Medical Center, so this is healthcare issues are not political issues. They are about people, and I'm so glad that she recognizes that. And so I want to thank her. And can we give her another round of applause, please? And I want her to know that we stand with her as well. And she. And hopefully other colleagues, I have private conversations sometimes with some of my colleagues, and they'll say, you're really right about this, but You know, I think someone mentioned earlier, one of the speakers said about a conservative scorecard. There are political realities and there are reasons why people do things. And it's unfortunate, though, that we are in that web. Our healthcare is in that web, tangled somehow. So while it continues to be, we will continue to be vigilant. We will continue to show up here every time we have to. We will continue to work in elections because this is an important issue. And if they're going to be political, we are going to have to be political. So thank you again so very much to all of you for coming, to all of your families who support you. I want to thank them personally for continuing to support you to be here. And I want to thank all of my colleagues who are here and or have bills up in hearings and for other reasons can't be exactly here, but they're here, for all of their support. So thank you, David, continuing to catalog our struggles. So thank you so much, and we will keep marching on.
Good afternoon. Muy buenas tardes a todos. Mi nombre es José Menéndez. My name is José Menéndez, and I'm a newly elected state senator from San Antonio. Many of you who've been involved with this movement for many years have known that I've been a strong ally of yours for over 15 years. And I just want to say thank you for being here. Thank you for having the courage and the conviction not to give up. Sometimes it's darkest before it becomes light. And you have to continue the fight because it's important. It matters. Healthcare matters. And that's the message. Your healthcare matters, and the people that can't be here, their healthcare matters. And just like my good friend just mentioned, the healthcare should not be dependent on a few people who are in this room listening to folks who may have no idea of the situation that you're going through. And they have no idea the situation that so many women are going throughout this great state. It's so big and so diverse and so vast that you cannot be limiting the options for people to get routine checkups, to get healthcare that they need that they might not otherwise have access to. And so let us not, thank you, let us not fool ourselves. This is about healthcare. It matters. Thank you for being here. Your being here matters, and your voice matters. So for all those people who say, I don't get involved in politics, politics doesn't affect me, you need to explain to them how politics impacts their life every single day, and this is just one of the most important issues. Thank you very much.